Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Astro Live on Instagram. I'm your host, Rochang. Once a week, I will invite one of my friends to join us to talking about astrology and the transit and what's happening around the world this moment. So today is our honor to invite Lianne to join us. Okay, I saw Lianne already online, so let me go to invite Lianne. Oh, Lian just sent a request to be in my live video. Yeah, go live. It works. Accept, yes. I already accept twice. Should I accept twice? Third
Hi,
time.
Rod.
Yeah, hello. Hey, you know what? After many months training, we finally adopt
It's the first
Instagram.
time I've been the right way up
Yeah.
at last.
That was so interesting because when we beginning to do this and you just say, oh, I'm not sure, I'm new, very new in Instagram. I said, don't worry, me too, I'm
I
very
know,
new.
I know. But every time we've gone live, I've been upside down or the wrong way around. I
You're
know.
not only one. You're not only one. There's a oh my gosh. Which way I should place my phone? Because when we use on Instagram, it's like it's very different. We are computer generation. That doesn't matter desktop or laptop. Or we just like turn on the camera and it worked like that. It worked like that way. But when we use the mobile phone, it's this way or that way, or this way or that way. I remember, is that you or someone else? It's like when we have a run the podcast and the phone is faced to another side. I forget who was it, but it was so interesting. Well, today, before we talk about our major theme today, I have a few announcements I want to make. The first one is this Friday at 8 p.m. UK time, Lianne and I and all our other colleagues on the horoscope, we're going to talk about the summer solstice. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's a Cancer increase chart. Cancer increase chart. I don't want to say summer solstice. That's a little bit, not correct for South Hemisphere. But also, there's another thing also involve me and Lianne. And I think it's very important for everyone because if you want to discount, the early bird is end tomorrow.
The AA conference.
Exactly, A conference. So this year A conference is, I think it's from 13th October to 15th October, and somewhere in England,
somewhere
so, right?
it's Stoke or Stone, which is down on the more in the Midlands, the west side of the UK.
Yeah, I've never been to that area.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward. I wish that in the future, every year, we have a different place for the
I think
so I can
that's a good idea because the previous conferences were down near Peterborough for a long time. And it was a great venue, and it was really easy for me to get to. And so I did like it. But we're going to a new venue this time, and I think it's good to just switch things up, do something new, try something new.
You know what I really want is go to Northampton.
Yeah, that would be wonderful to do something up here.
Because it's a dark sky park there, and it's very famous for astronomers. So I really want to go there one day. I know. Yeah. Yeah, so I will remind everyone the early bird discounts end on 15th of June. So it's one more day and there's a huge discount. So please go to check on the Association of Astrological Association of Great Britain website. And I will leave website later on the on the comment area so you can copy it. Okay, so that's most important. And then this year Lianne will be talking. And so what's your
talk is about Pluto and Haumea. So we do have a current Pluto Haumea square going on, but it's about the healing potential and the creativity that we associate with Pluto and Haumea. And we're going to see a vast acceleration and output of medicinal, we're in that technological age. Everything's going to be ramping up, so we're going to be seeing an acceleration with gene therapy, sort of disease therapies, all of that sort of thing. And it's going to be very quick, and yeah, AI, the acceleration with anything connected with that's going to be massive. But this Pluto-Haumea square, it's very much about reproduction as well. So it's very tied into DNA, and so we're going to be seeing a lot of innovations in that area. So I'm going to talk about that on a personal and a collective level.
Lovely. Always enjoy your talk about the asteroid, and also your talk is always combine personal and collective, and I really enjoy that. Oh, I forget to mention that tomorrow, on Fridays, our horoscope, I think our friend Fernando is going to talk about the Sedna, right? Another asteroid, Sedna, ingress to Gemini.
So Sedna isn't actually categorized yet. It's on the candidate list to be a dwarf planet, but it hasn't actually been categorized. And it's way out in the solar system. Its cycle is about 14,000 years. So so we are very fortunate to see Sedna ingress, a new sign in our lifetime. But also what's very important is that Sedna is at the perigee of its cycle. It's the closest point to the Earth. So this century it's moved through a few signs, but then it will travel back out away to the apogee of its cycle. And but I don't want to steal any thunder from Friday night. And what?
I know you guys. I mean, I was so surprised until I run the horoscope with you guys. I suddenly noticed there is so many friends around me who are expert about asteroid. I was like, I really know nothing about it, but hey, and I would learn from you. And my talk in the AA conference would be the fixed stars. I would talk about the fixed star moving sign, and it was so interesting because a couple of days ago, someone just posted online talking about the one star from the Pleiades called Maya. Maya is changing, moving from Taurus to Gemini. Well, I did a little bit of research. I don't want to say right or wrong, but there is other date suggestion. There is other date suggestion just because the procession, and it is very slow, and the calculation of the ephemeris we use, there are so many because we are converted from the so-called ecliptical coordinate system to the from the what should I say to the equatorial system. So there is the things there. So that's why there's other date suggestion. But I'm going to talk about this because I will just look at the big picture. And another one I will talk about not just star, so talk about other those we call stars, but they are indeed galaxy or nebula, and how they impact to our society and our individual. And that'll be my talk. Anyway, but I want to invite everyone to join us on from 13th to 15th October to AA conference. There's online and there's also residential. So please join us. So Lianne, after we talk about how many minutes into our chat?
So we're going to talk about the Jupiter Saturn sextile that is happening on the 19th of June, which is when is that? That's Monday, next Monday. And
Monday, yes.
You know, if we think back to the Jupiter Saturn cycle, the current one that started at 0 Aquarius back in 2020, you know, it was a whole new shift into air. It wasn't just a new cycle; it was a shift into a 200 year era of air after being in Earth for 200 years. It was a massive shift on top of that historical Saturn Pluto Capricorn conjunction. It was a massive year. And usually when we're looking at these mundane cycles, we focus on the hard aspects, don't we? Because they tend to be manifest in the most sort of obvious ways, and the most project, you know, the hard aspects give more growth, more progression. They might be more difficult, but they're the ones we look to for growth and that type of thing. But we've got this sextile, and I love sextiles. Okay, I think they're really fascinating, probably because I have quite a few in my chart. And I always say to people, whatever you have in your natal chart often tends to become a focus in your own astrological interests and studies. Yeah. So that's why I like quincunxes too, and I like anaretic degrees, because I have them all. I get them. Yeah. Okay. But this sextile, I think, is really quite beautiful. So it happens on the 19th of June, and it's the first major Ptolemaic aspect in this cycle that started in 2020. Exactly. Okay, it's full of potential. You know, that's what sextiles about, opportunity and potential. But this one's a little bit different, I feel, because just 2 days before the sextile exacts, which is at 7 degrees 12 minutes of Taurus and Pisces. So Jupiter will be in Taurus, Saturn will be in Pisces at that 7 degree mark. Saturn goes retrograde.
Yep.
Yeah, it goes retrograde. So it retrogrades into the sextile. Okay. So if we just step back and think about this Saturn and Pisces energy that we're living through at the moment, okay, it's incredibly reflective. It's very balsamic, and it's very 12th house, isn't it? It's very wise, and it's full of wisdom, or a place that we can tap into wisdom, okay? And it's even more so because it's going retrograde into the sextile. So what I feel about this sextile is that this is the perfect opportunity for us just to slow down, because now Jupiter's gone into Taurus, everything's slowed. I don't know if everyone's noticed or not, but after Jupiter being in Aries, in that cardinal energy of go, 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 foot flat to the floor, everything was mad busy. Oh, it's just time to stop, sit for a while, and just think and reflect. Jupiter in Taurus is a much slower energy. I'm loving it. I needed it. I needed it. So
I don't know. Should I say? Could I say I enjoy it or not? Because I usually, you know, I have the kind of mixed cardinal and multiple T-square. So when you notice when I do the things, I will be like, bang, it's just in one go. I want to go in and very quickly. And I've been forced to slow down. I've been forced to slow down for the last couple of weeks since Jupiter moved into Taurus. I've been forced to slow down, and I'm not used to it.
It feels very strange, because you almost feel lazy. You feel a little bit lazy. Yeah,
exactly. That's how I tell myself. Well, I have reason to be lazy because I catch a COVID. but I still say
no.
I am so
it's
lazy.
Not being lazy. I think it's, although it feels unnatural to us. I mean, if you have Jupiter and Taurus in your natal chart, or lots of Taurus planets, it might just feel normal. But it's time to reflect, and time just to take stock of all of those experiences that we've been through since this cycle started in 2020. It's been an incredibly difficult 3 years for all of us. Our lives have changed. Whether we like it or not, our lives have changed. What was once important to us has probably changed. Our financial situations, for many of us, have changed because people lost jobs during lockdown, COVID, all of that sort of thing. Our value systems have probably changed since 2 or 3 years ago. And I think we need to sit and reflect, because Saturn in Pisces retrograde is the most reflective energy you can get.
I agree, and it's not too hard. It's a kind of friendly invitation, rather than say sit down. I will just sit and reflect. No. I said, how about just sit down and think about some other, opportunity, or think about some other possibility, and that is lovely and sweet. I think the Jupiter give us the vision, not that vision like a Neptunian, but give us a little far side, but also Saturn say, but think seriously and
absolutely, because we've got Earth and water, and Earth and water are feminine sides. They're very receptive, internalized side. That makes it even more reflective. And I'd love everyone to picture this image. So imagine during the next sort of week or two, when this sextile is really active, imagine just sitting in a garden surrounded by beautiful flowers and foliage, Taurus, lovely, beautiful Taurus.
Yeah.
Just sitting in a garden with the bees buzzing and the butterflies landing, and just sit and think about everything you've been through, how your value systems have changed, what you believe in has probably changed as well, because many of us probably don't believe in a lot of the authority figures that we used to believe in. Okay, just sit in that garden and reflect on what you want, what's important when you go forward, because this is the perfect time to blend the past. We've been through those awful experiences. Let's use them. Jupiter's in Earth. Let's use them. So think about the past, think about the present, sit in the present. That's Taurus, sit in the present. And then use Jupiter's scope to think ahead. So how am I going to utilize my resources as I go forward? What is now important to me? How do I want to treat my body going forward? Because our body is very Taurus. It's a very it's a resource. It's a perfect time to blend the past and the present and the future, and just sit and think about our next steps after those awful few years that we've been through, without a doubt. And that's on a personal level, and it could involve, it's Taurus, it's relationships and spirituality. That's Pisces. Finances, all those sorts of things. But let's think about the environment a little bit as well, because we're talking about earth and water. Okay, so I got the inspiration for all of this because I've got the most beautiful image of a turtle. It's a print, an art print on my wall. And think about the turtle with its hard shell that it can retreat into. And that's what we can kind of do at the minute, just retreat into our own experience and memories, draw on everything we've learned, the wisdom that we have to move forward. But the turtle lives in water and on earth. Okay, it comes onto land to lay its eggs, to reproduce, to keep evolving, but then it migrates into the sea, doesn't it? And I think this Saturn and Pisces, go ahead and book a cruise, go and migrate somewhere, go and explore the world. But we can migrate within ourselves, within our inner wisdom, our imaginations, into all that Pisces energy. But also think about the turtle as well. It needs air to breathe. Yes, it can hold its breath for a long time, can't it? But it needs to come up for air. And how many of you feel as though for the past 2 or 3 years you've been holding your breath with all the anxiety, all the worry, all the pressure? And we've got to come up for air and, take a breath before we just go on. But very quickly, if we think back to the past week or two in the news, think about that burst dam in the Ukraine, which is a very earth-water dynamic, isn't it? It's earth-water. But think about, although that was human-made, that was caused by human interaction, yeah. But then think to Canada and the wildfires, which are bigger and earlier than ever, and then all the air came down to New York. People in New York are masking up again. And I would note that with this Jupiter Saturn sextile, Pluto's back into Capricorn. People in New York are masking up again. Okay, yeah, I know. But if anyone wants to go look at the Canada Dominion chart, it's the 1867 chart, I believe. The Canada Dominion chart. That Jupiter Saturn sextile picks up Canada's Jupiter, but it forms a yod. It's forming a yod with make, or should I say maki. You have to pronounce it maki, okay? So this sextile forms a yod with maki in Libra. It's air. And I think that's really significant that it picks up and triggers lots of points in the Canada chart when their air is being polluted by all these wildfires, which are going to go on all summer. And I think it's a little bit of a wake-up call, you know, just let's sit back, let's think more deeply about this. We know we've got problems with the climate and environment. And Maki is all about sort of responsibility and sustainability. And it's about the threat of extinction. You know, Maki's linked to Easter Island. You know, we don't have time to go into all of that right now. But it's about our responsibility to maintain and sustain our resources on a personal and a collective level.
Yeah, wow. Lianne, always when I listen to you, I just like, oh my God, it's so rich image and also very deep meaning. And I just like, I really enjoy you when you talk, when you talk about that. I just like, that's so inspiring, and I couldn't just put the words. Sometimes I force myself to get some response. If not, I would just sitting here and become an audience. But no, I couldn't do that job. But yes, this Saturn sextile Jupiter sextile Saturn. One thing is pretty interesting, and I think a couple of days ago I was running a podcast with Christine Skinner, and we were talking about this is also have something to do with with the cryptocurrency market at this moment. The United States SEC is trying to sue the two big companies, and it's part of big picture. It's part of big picture, and that remind me to think about what's happening now with this Jupiter sextile Saturn is also the part of a big picture, and we are in the kind of a not too late, but not too early.
Yeah,
we are still in the early stage of this Jupiter Saturn conjunction, but this is the first. We already stepped into the second stage. Let me say that. So the first stage we are kind of trying everything, and now we are kind of seeing the hints, or some possibility is going to grow. This is between the after the semi-square to the square. We are in this stage. So it's like a very powerful, very strong growing process. And this sextile just stay in the middle of this stage. And that is beauty. That's why when you say you like this aspect, I say, yes, it is a very interesting dynamic. It's friendly and it's fun. But it's not too slow and not too boring, because sometimes when you have that kind of very mild and very smooth stride, people will just relax, not going to do anything. But sextile is sometimes like we are running a friendly competition, or we are trying to showing the best of our differences between the two different quality or something. So that sextile at this stage will let us see what is possible for next maybe 14-15 years, and also is kind of invite us, say, okay, now you have to choose. Soon we will make choice.
Absolutely. It's full of potential, and you can grasp it. Sextiles about using the opportunity, use them, use this energy, because next year, late next year and into 2025, we will have the first square, the waxing square of this cycle, and then we'll be forced. There would be forced. Now you have some choice. So just reflect on everything that you have going on around you and look at the opportunities that you might have. Use them. You know, Taurus is about earth. Use it. And that Saturn and Pisces gives you some reflection and some experience that you can draw on. Definitely. One other thing that I find really interesting in the UK at the moment, well, the US too. So we have Boris Johnson with all that stuff going on with the but Trump, it's the same thing. And I do wonder with the sextile if we're now going to have the opportunity to get hard evidence, because Jupiter and Taurus is hard justice, hard evidence, and then Saturn and Pisces, divine justice.
Yes. When you were talking about the hard evidence, I was just, but Saturn in Pisces is not that concrete. They were just like, oh, maybe bending the rule, or maybe consider this and consider that, you know. It's just
but then we've got Jupiter in Taurus, and that needs hard evidence. So I just think it's, I don't know whether they get convicted or what. I think there's going to be a lot of going back over, pulling out more and more and more hard evidence to finally get them. It will come. And of course that ties in with Pluto back into Capricorn, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that is because I think that these things are coming around just like one is before Pluto returned to Capricorn. Those are up before, but I think the Silvio Berlusconi was died after the day of Pluto moving into Capricorn. Say, they owe the politician of that period, the Pluto in Capricorn period, and then now they're just showing that, and I was just like, I'm really looking forward to see.
Absolutely. There'll be more. There will be more, because Pluto in Capricorn is saving the best till last. Definitely. It's not finished yet.
And not finished yet. We still have 6 months going to
absolutely, absolutely. And you know, Saturn, whether it's in Pisces or not, it will pull out anything that's hidden, perhaps. And again, that hard evidence that we're looking for. So yeah, we'll see. But
Exactly. But another thing I want to remind our audience before the next week, because there is a set of aspect is coming up, is the Mars going to square Uranus.
I'll tell you why, because Uranus is right on my IC. Yeah, and then that Mars is right squaring that. So
Are you changing the electrician, the washing machine or something, your fridge in your house?
What I'm actually doing, and I'm happy to share this with everyone, because even though we're astrologers, we can still see a transit coming, a personal transit coming to us, and think, oh, I don't want that, right? So I think it's important that we share this. So Uranus right on my IC. So with the housing market, etc., I'm praying, it doesn't affect the stability of my home, literally at the moment. But what I'm actually seeing for a long time, I've been sort of very much stuck in a rut at home. Work is, that's busy progressing. But my home routine, my, life routine, it's been kind of stuck in a rut. And for a while I've been like, I need to shake this up. I can't stay in this routine for the next 10 years. I will go mad. So I've actually started, not intentionally, but it's kind of just happened, just changing a few different like eating habits. So I've cut caffeine out. I've cut caffeine out,
Okay.
okay, and I'm just doing a few things like that, and I'm changing up my the routine of my work day. So it's very
Mm-hmm.
much about shaking up the foundations of my
Mm-hmm.
because I work from home as
Mm-hmm.
well. So I'm shaking up the foundations of
Yes.
my home life, which impacts onto my work life,
Mm-hmm.
which is at the MC. So they're all
Yeah,
tied in
I
together, and that
see.
Mars square Uranus, it's giving you the energy to sort of go and do that and to break out of that
Yeah.
rut that you
Yeah.
might be stuck in. You know, I'm very aware that Mars square Uranus, it could involve great surprises or shock. You know,
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
don't know. But
Yeah.
it's shaking up a lot of things in my life.
And I really agree with you. I really agree with you. Is that most of the time, yes, in some level, is more or passive way is we are waiting for something shaking. We are waiting for something surprising us or something happen to
Yeah,
us. But in another way, like
yeah,
you say, you make a change of your life, and that
yeah,
is another
yeah,
way to using Mars, Uranus energy. And I always remember, I used to smoking, and you know that, and then when every time when I see Mars approach to Uranus, I was like, oh, it's about time. Let me think about should I want to
yeah.
stop smoking this because it's cut off. It's both planets is suggest you cut something off. So the first things I like to cut off, well, carbohydrate, yes. But
And
another
that's a
thing,
very Taurus
cigarette.
thing because Uranus is in Taurus and it's all about
Yeah,
our resources and what we're
yeah,
putting into our bodies. I've cut out wine too. I've just completely
yeah.
cut out wine.
Oh,
Not
what are we going to do when next time we
it's
go to
temporary. I know
party?
it's temporary. No, but so I've cut out caffeine and wine, but no, I still have gin and tonic, of
Mm-hmm.
course. But just those two
Oh, come on.
just those two changes already, I can feel a big
Mm-hmm.
difference. Yeah, yeah,
Lovely. Mm. My situation is I've been forced to cut down because COVID. So I haven't
yeah,
smoked for a while, and I reduced the alcohol taking. I really feel the difference, but I'm still recovering. So I was just like, I'm not sure, but I'm kind of I can sense the Mars Uranus square. Even that's difficult, but I still say, okay, I know it's difficult, but I'm still going
yeah,
to try to make some change. Just in thinking about my
yeah,
body, the
yeah,
Taurus, thinking about my body, thinking about my health, and then I want to make some change. And that is a very, very interesting way to do. It doesn't matter it's going to success or not. This is square, but I think just go for it and then try it.
mm,
We will see what's going on, and that is what I'm expecting for this Mars square Uranus. But there's a lot of
yeah,
things changing for whole society too. That will be surprising us for whole society
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
even
yeah,
the financial market. I think Christine Skinner used to mention this Mars Uranus aspect usually
yeah.
is a big thing for the financial market. So
Yeah,
just
yeah, no,
guys.
absolutely. But I think if we can try and make some changes ourselves, then that Mars Uranus square might not shock us so much, and it might not, because if you don't make any change, it will explode somehow. It will find a
Yeah,
way to manifest itself somehow. So just get making any of those changes. Be brave. Just do something different that you've never
yeah,
done before. Definitely. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Wow, Lianne, so nice to chat to you. I was just like, you mean that last month I was in Taiwan and I didn't have time to organize all this chat, and so I just put a video on. So I feel like I miss it because I miss chatting to my friend. It's also another way I catch up with my friend. How terrible I am, just like, but I really enjoy the chat like this with my friend, talking about astrology and also showing it on the Instagram or YouTube, so
Yeah.
everyone can share this information and listen to my friend. I think I'm so lucky have so many wise friends. You,
Yeah.
Isabella, Fernando, Christian, and Lisa.
Everyone's
Oh my
great.
God, you guys really because. Yeah, yes, and it's just like
Yeah.
we can all learn from each other. Every time when you say something, we think, oh, okay, why I didn't think about that? Well, that is really helpful.
Yeah.
That really inspiring. So I also wish our audience also get inspiration from you today. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Lianne, and don't forget, everyone. Friday, 8 p.m. UK time, we have the astrologer from all around the world. We have Fernando from Brazil, and Anna from Peru, and Maria from Argentina, Lianne from UK, and me, and then I think we have Grace, and Luisa from Portugal, and Mark from Scotland. We usually group together and talking about the mountain astrology, what's happening around the world. So if you are interested about the political, environmental, society, the culture-wise, don't miss this. I think it's on the Friday, 8 p.m. UK time on YouTube channel. It's called Horoscope. Okay, so go to check my YouTube channel, AOA UK1 on YouTube. Okay, so this is what we're going to do on Friday, 8 p.m. UK time. We're going to talk about the Cancer increase, and Fernando going to showing us a little bit about what is Saturn now move into Gemini, and that will be so interesting. But I want to repeat again. If you want to join us for the AA conference this year, would be the 13th to 15th October, and then the early bird discount would be end tomorrow. So don't miss this big opportunity, okay? Well, thanks, Lianne, and see you guys next
time. Take care, everyone. Bye.
You too. Bye.